After spending hours in both Splitgate 1 and Splitgate 2, I've come to the conclusion. They're both the same game. And before everybody starts screaming at me in the comments, there are differences between the two games, but the core of the games are essentially identical. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily, I don't think so, but we'll get into that. I want to start talking about the differences, beginning with the new movement. Splitgate 2 has introduced sliding, and let me tell you, this addition was absolutely necessary. In Splitgate 1, running movement felt restrictive and clunky at times. You could sprint and fly, and that was about it. You could jump into a portal down low and let gravity give you like a massive speed boost. But because of the smaller maps and tighter maps, there was nowhere really you could take your speed. In a game as fast-paced as Splitgate, finding a way to direct and maintain that speed was a must. That's where Splitgate 2 comes in, where sliding is basically the same as b-hopping. I want to show you this potato quality clip 1 because I'm the GOAT. And 2, because after hitting this shot, you'll see how I keep my momentum and continue to slide around for a little while. Maps are so much larger, so there's room to play with the speed you build up and maintain by sliding, which will lead to some fun opportunities. Splitgate 2 also included vaulting. I don't think I need to say too much outside of this was also a necessity. I don't know how many times I've died in Splitgate 1 because I was too far away from a ledge, so good update. Thanks, Fortnite. Moving away from running mobility, let's talk about portal mobility and how the new updates affect the pace of play. In Splitgate 1, if there was a portal on the wall, you could not shoot your own portal in place of the current portal. You'd have to lob a limited number of slow grenades at the portal to blow it up, and then it was free real estate. In Splitgate 2, you can put portals on any wall you want, anytime. If there's an enemy portal, just shoot it with your own. If there's a friendly portal, just shoot it with your own.
Opponent just got a zone. Scoring in 2 zones.
It wasn't funny. If you want to close your own portals now, you can choose a simple option to close both portals at the same time. Or in the newest update of Splitgate 2, you can control which keybinds close the portals, nodding back to Splitgate 1. They made the game more user-friendly and easier to understand for the masses, but in a way that doesn't take away from the complex mastery of the game. And they got rid of grenades, which was awesome because those things freaking sucked. In place of grenades, you now have utilities, which play into a larger conversation of new character classes. In Splitgate 1, you had the hog skin. In Splitgate 2, you now have Rainbow Messi.
I don't worry about anything.
Splitgate 1 had no special classes. You had one character, and whatever guns you could use depending on your game mode. Splitgate 2, however, has changed the script on that. Now you have the option to choose between 3 character classes in a game. The arrows, the meridians, and the sabrask. The arrows are fast, and mostly used for riskier, intense gameplay. They pretty much just pop steroids, become speed demons, and throw frisbees at people. Meridian is a support class, usually just healing teammates or messing with time. They can see through walls and heal way too much from the stupid bubble they throw on the ground. Sabrasks are tanks with good defense and offensive abilities. They throw shields down for the team and they have really good offensive passive traits. I won't go super in depth with these classes, but I will say that each class can provide your team with a buff depending on who you choose. This is a cool feature that can add more variety to your team and how you wish to go about playing the game. Or you can all pick Sabrask and hide in a corner or something, you do you. As far as weapons go, there's a lot of guns that are either new or reskinned from Splitgate 1, so gunplay doesn't feel too different. And I know what you're all thinking. While it may look different from the original, they didn't ruin the sniper. In fact, they made it so much better. My mama always said you could tell how good a game is based on its sniping, and let me tell you. I'm getting pretty good. At a basic level, each of the 3 classes have 5 general guns you can choose from. An assault rifle, a carbine, a shotgun, a burst rifle, and an SMG. Now each gun plays slightly different from class to class, with some doing slightly more damage than others, or the burst on one class being quicker than the other. You can also add attachments to each gun to adjust it to your desired gameplay. Oh yeah, the pistols suck.
Off yourself, bud.
But not as much as Splitgate 1. Overall, no general class is broken. It just kind of boils down to preference at a certain point. Unless you find these Johns that, oh my gosh, dude, your game is freaking...
Oh my gosh!
There's a few weapons I'm going to call power weapons. Power weapons are weapons that you're not able to spawn with in a normal mode, but weapons that you find in supply drops or on weapon spawns. I'm stuck inside the airdrop, bro.
Yeah! Yeah, I didn't die!
This includes the sniper, the broken dually SMGs, the baseball bat, and many others. These are so much fun and are admittedly a little broken, but they show up at a good rate so they don't feel unattainable or too overpowering.
He's clean with it!
In Splitgate 1, maps were riskier and tighter. There were more creative spaces with varying levels of playing, but that creativity was often stifled by not allowing a player the direction or grace to play with it. Like you had a 3-story map with a giant nut in the middle that blocked your view of everything. It's a cool design, but constricting and claustrophobic. And then there were times you jump through a ceiling portal and have like an aneurysm trying to figure out which way you were going. In Splitgate 2, maps are pretty safe and breathable, with some fun speed portals and stuff laying around. But there are a couple maps where room for creativity is like nowhere to be found, like this one. It's a great multiplayer map for like a Halo game, but there's some personality missing from what I desire in a Splitgate game. The sides and the bottom floors are just underutilized and lineups for portals feel unconsidered. It feels like the emphasis is on fighting more so than portaling, where I believe there should be a good balance of both. I honestly think that neither game mastered their map designs, but neither game did a bad job either. All I want to say is that Splitgate 1 had Oasis and Splitgate 2 didn't, so someone needs to get fired for not bringing that map over, like honestly. The number one thing people say to describe Splitgate is that it's a combination of Portal and Halo, which is completely untrue. On top of that claim, I've heard a lot of people claiming that the new announcer sounds way too similar to Halo's announcer. To be honest, I don't agree at all. I mean, listen to this guy.
Big kill. Soup Kitchen. I'm Negan. You're Glenn. Shoot, shoot. Your team sucks.
Thank you, Master Chief. Splitgate definitely draws inspiration from other shooters, but in doing so, Splitgate has become what other arena shooters should strive to be like. They've found a great balance of action, RNG, creativity, and variety that other games don't execute as well. So what differences are there between both Splitgates? Right now, Splitgate has some banger game modes. They have way more options to choose from, with some truly unique ones. They've got SWAT, they got a 3v3 one-life duel, gun game, one in the chamber, which needs to be in the new game. I mean, come on, dude. They also have Pablo Sanchez simulator. They even have Smear the politically correct human. The UI does suck to choose these modes, but
How did I get here?
you can vote on maps, which instantly removes that sin. So what does Splitgate 2 have? They've got Griffball, they got Halo 5, the most important mode, Fiesta, baby. It's nothing but power weapons. Do I need to say more? If you willingly play any other mode while this game is in rotation, Splitgate 2 also added a few 8v8v8 objective-based game modes. To be honest, I feel like you don't play these game modes to win. I mean, trying to hold a point by yourself against 16 enemies is just hellish.
What are we supposed to do against that?
You kind of just play these modes to vibe out and do some mindless shooting. It can be hard to make creative or skilled plays in these modes, as there's so much chaos and not enough opportunity or thoughtful creative gameplay. Not to say that you can't sweat out some fights or create some goofy opportunities in these modes, but it is a little bit harder to do so. And lastly, the Battle Royale. Thank you, Splitgate 2, for adding so many freaking updates while I was editing this video. But actually though, I'm not outdated for once, so I was expecting to hate this. Like, oh boy, another Battle Royale no one asked for, but I think a lot of people asked for this because it's actually pretty fun. The only thing that really sets it apart from any other Battle Royale is instead of one giant map, it's a map made up of 4 multiplayer maps that are connected by portals. So when the storm shrinks, it slowly pushes you into one of the other 4 maps. Everything else runs about the same as you'd expect from another Battle Royale. So which game has better modes? Well, again, Splitgate 1 has Oasis, and Splitgate 2 has a vending machine with some freaking banging music. Anyway, I actually do prefer the game modes from Splitgate 1 over Splitgate 2. Dude, the variety and creativity of these modes hooked me all over again. So to summarize everything I just presented, Splitgate 2 is just a purge and update of Splitgate 1. remarketed for the purpose of becoming relevant for the next 2 months and then dying again like the last one. To be honest, I'm honestly kind of sad about it. I truly believe Splitgate has the potential to be what Fortnite was in 2017 for us now in 2025. But the free thinkers and casual gamers just don't exist anymore. I'd like to see that change someday. So anyway, Splitgate 1, Splitgate 2, both fun, both good game. Like, subscribe, monkey.